Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Brilliant Swag, episode 2. I don't know why Jackson and Jordan get to be the last two people seen in that video, but I guess whatever. Looking like the best of friends. Today's episode is about sexual inequality of men versus women. We're gonna get into that, but first, let's let the fellas go ahead and introduce themselves. Go ahead, Lametrius.
All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is Lametrius. Glad to be here on the show. I think it's going to be my first appearance. I didn't catch you guys last time, but I'm excited to be here tonight. I know it's going to be an interesting show, interesting topic, so I'm ready to kick this off tonight.
All right, yeah, it was Meet the Cast. He was doing some important things, so we didn't get to see him. And then we got in the sound booth, Jordan.
What it do, y'all? It's your boy Jordan. Back in here, episode 2. I'm not gonna exit out early this time, and hell yeah, we're gonna be out here.
Then we got that boy Jack.
What's going on with y'all? I'm ready to chop it up. Get crazy.
God, I hate how they're both blacker than me. It's so annoying. Then we got Matthew.
What's going on, everybody? How we doing today? Got an interesting topic.
Matthew, aka White Jesus, and I call him White Jesus because regular Jesus is black. All right, so we're talking about sexual equality of men and women. We know this has been talked about at death, but getting the male perspective, and there's a lot of different topics you can talk about in this realm, and we'll start with the one that's the biggest talked about is the inequality when viewed about sexual partners. Now we know the old thing, if I have sex with 5 girls in 3 days, that boy's a pimp. He's got swag, he's got all these different things. And if a woman does it, she's a hoe. She's a hoe, she's for the streets. We never hear the guy is for the streets, right? Especially in the heterosexual world. You don't hear the guy is for the streets. How do you feel about that, Jordan?
Honestly, the moment I hear it, all I thought about was Future playing in my head.
Yeah.
He's God for it. But I mean, in all honesty, though, it to me it doesn't matter what a girl does is what she does. But I understand the stigma that goes with it. As far as women taking on multiple partners and all that, because I know. We're all
because I know. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're adults, so it's like I get it. If you're not in like a serious relationship, it's more of like you're just carefree. Things happen, things lead to other things. I mean, you can't really judge things off of that these days,
Matt.
So whenever I kind of hear that, I always picture older people saying that, and it's got to be a generational thing. Just thinking about back in the day, early 1900s, women were always supposed to be reserved for men, right? Meanwhile, guys are supposed to be out there hustling, bustling, picking up whoever they can, and that's how they get their status. But then again, that's all back in the early 1900s, and then even later. Nowadays, right, our generation, we're growing up saying, you know what? She can do whatever she wants. That's on her. Who am I to judge?
Are you sure that's how your whole generation is thinking?
Maybe not our whole generation, but
it's a little. It is.
I'm still seeing it. I'm still seeing and hearing it, not just from older people. I'm hearing it from people older than me, people my age, people younger. So I don't know if it's just solely gone. I mean, you still hear it in
it's definitely not gone, but I mean, I think it's definitely more nowadays, especially for people are a little more accepting of she could do whatever she wants, he could do whatever she wants, and who am I to judge? Not saying that there's definitely people saying that, oh, she's for the streets or anything like that. Future going out here and singing the song. But other people, I think more people are jumping on the bandwagon saying, you know what, live your best life. Who am I to judge?
I want to spin off of what Matthew said about like the old ways, right? And I got two disclaimers before I get started because it might get a little wicked. But like, first of all, I don't care. Like, do what you want. I don't care how you can have 50. I don't care. Second, like, I don't agree with it, like with what I'm about to say, but I can see both views, right? So for like how Matt said that a woman is supposed to be like pure and things like that, a lot of men see a woman's value in like her innocence, her chastity, her virginity, stuff like that. And so for a woman to have lost that and to have lost it at such a astound rate is not appealing to a man, because a man wants them, like, if we could all have the perfect woman, like we would all be with virgins. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to know or to think that women have been with other dudes. But I mean, obviously it's never gonna happen. But like, that's just how we think, right? And then on the back end of it, like, for a guy, if you getting crazy, all you gotta do is hop in the shower and it wipes off the surface, right? For a woman, it's a lot deeper, like
they get like an energy
internally. I'm trying to stay a little more PG, but internally, you know what I'm saying? Like, they gotta get up in it and clean it. Like, it's a lot more deep and a lot more hygienic for a female.
So do you think whose responsibility is it to change the line of thinking with that? Because we talk about relationships on a lot of shows, and I'm always like, we're looking at all this stuff, but you know, my first thing is this should make you happy. Like, everybody, I wish more people would stop worrying about someone's history. If they're satisfying you in the ways you want to be satisfied. I don't mean sexually, I just mean everything, because people do change. And that's why I hate the she's for the streets, or you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, all those things. No one says you can't turn a pimp into a house husband, right? And
exactly.
That's why I said, even maybe I'm on social media too much, because I still see younger people doing it. And I guess it just depends on, maybe you may see it less if that's not how your circle thinks, which is good, because the circle of people that friends I'm around didn't think that way, but I knew other people thought that way. And you said an interesting thing about the connection. That's why I feel like you always see stories of guy caught cheating at work, guy caught cheating, behind McDonald's, guy caught cheating in motel, guy got caught cheating in car. And a lot of times you hear a woman cheating, where do you usually hear it? You usually hear a guy said, I came home and she was in my bed with another guy. And that, you know what that tells me? When a lot of guys do cheat, it's about just getting it.
Yeah.
Right? Get it wherever you can get it. And when a woman does it, it's usually more intimate. There's things that you're not fulfilling for her that she has found in someone else. Not saying there's no women out here just getting it. I feel like more women, that's what happens when they do it. So I can get the discrepancy in there. I do think it's unfair because look at, for instance, sex tapes. Who usually survives the sex scandal? The guy. I mean, we have our examples, right? We'll go, oh, Black China. Well, we'll pick those outliers, right? But who usually survives the sex scandal?
I can't name one guy that got caught in a sex scandal with a porn tape, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, like, oh my God, you're terrible.
Yeah. They might lose. Someone makes money off of them.
Yeah,
well, that's a whole nother thing with the internet, and like it's really opened the door to all things sexual, whether it's porn, OnlyFans, whatever it is. It's kind of made everybody kind of numb to it. So even no matter what you're doing.
But you gotta understand, Tyga is a huge celebrity, and whenever it first happened, like whenever his content first started coming out, everybody was going crazy. Everybody was like, "What the fuck?" And then as he just kept doing it, it became so normalized that people are just like,
you know.
And then like the girls that are in his whatever he does is like they get backlash for it and things like that on their social medias. So it's a double standard for sure. But at this point, I don't think there's any double standards with it no more. Everybody's trying to do it. Everybody's trying to get that bread off OnlyFans.
I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that too, because not only do the women get the backlash, they also get the most profit out of it too, right? So it's really kind of a hypocrite.
Okay, but we're talking about two different things. There's women that are doing it to make a profit versus the women who get caught up in something or something happens and it's not their intention, and then it ruins their career. For instance, Janet Jackson, most popular one. Justin Timberlake gets forgiven. Janet Jackson, no. We all know by now that was not a wardrobe malfunction. That was planned. But who survived that over the next decade?
Yeah. I think Janet Jackson just got over it or something like that.
You made a good point earlier about what you said about who you got in your circle. Is to change the way people think. Like you're gonna have to change who you surround with. I mean, is social media peers, they can have a big influence on how you think. Some people, they can't even think for themselves.
You don't even realize it sometimes neither. You don't really realize
it. Some people just let peers and social media control how they think. So that automatically puts stigmas on certain things. Like, but as far as that situation goes, like a woman being out there, with multiple partners, a man might say like, oh, she's wild, she's for the streets. That's the stigmatism that man set for women. Even though we doing the same thing, but it's cool for us, but not for them. But
I think some men got a lot of insecurities, as far as men in general. As soon as you think, oh, what she could be doing, she's doing. If oh, she's comfortable doing this, that, and the third with another person, you're gonna be thinking about it all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that comes with a big part of it as well.
That could happen with both of them. I always find it amazing that whether a man or a woman is like the side chick or side dude with someone while they're dating or with someone else, and then that person breaks up and they start dating them, and then they're surprised when it happens to them. Like, why are you?
Yeah.
They're always taken by surprise. But then there's always that toxic argument because you knew she was stepping out on her boyfriend and doing stuff with you, and now you're dating her. So now in your head, it's like, what is she doing? What is she doing?
You're at new risk.
So
you did it to him, and she'll do it to you.
Right. And then you're always going to have haters. You're always going to have someone, hey, they didn't get the girl, so they're going to help embellish her past in your presence to make you feel some type of way because you have her now, no matter how happy you guys.
That goes back to the guys' insecurities, though. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like the guy's jealous, or he wants to be with this one individual or this one woman, whoever. And because he can't get with them, he's going to bring up her past, make her seem like she's someone for the streets, anything like that. Meanwhile, he's just jealous himself. I was like, dang it.
Insecure men are 10 times worse than insecure women. It's ridiculous. Grown ass men acting like babies, bro. I hate it.
I think it could also be maybe even a power struggle. If a man tries to fault a woman for their sexuality, they feel more empowered to be able to have control over her or what they do and all that. They're like, oh, what you're doing is wrong. So they just bash it and try to use it as a
because you know what? I heard a guy say this before. He was arguing with his friend and he was talking about his girl had cheated on him. And he was so mad and his friend was like, bro, you cheated twice.
Yeah.
Three times on her already. He's like, that's different. That's different.
It's not. It's not.
That's coochie. He said another word. He said, that's coochie. That's different.
Right.
That's mine. I'm like, that's yours. Like, what? Apparently it's not.
That's my rib. No,
somebody else just had it. So apparently it's not. So like you cheated on her 3 times and now you are flying off the handle. Because now it's like, well, now I'm trying to think of, has she done it before? So see, now you're in your own head.
Right.
She forgave you 3 times. Now you're over it because she done went and did it once.
You checking to see if she's online and all that. Right. Yeah, tripping.
Then you spinning your wheels all day.
I know she just messaged me and that green dot is on. Like, what is going on? Something is happening.
On the location.
It's like I have a Droid, so I turn my red receipt off. If my red receipt's on, that means I'm being petty. I want somebody to know that I read their message. But normally I have my read receipts off. because you don't need to know if I looked. I don't want to answer. I don't answer.
And be all caught up like, damn.
iPhones, you can be extra petty on iPhones. You can put a thumbs up on their message like on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like you can just hit the thumbs up on them.
I hate when y'all respond and it says like my whole message again. It says Matthew liked the message. I'm like, get out of here with that.
Or even the more disrespectful is you just get a K back and that's it.
Oh my gosh.
That's just like, all right, so you read the whole message and now you're just responding back with a K.
I got a problem with big
conversation is done then.
You send me a big message, I'm not gonna give you a big response. I'm gonna hit you with the all right, that's cool. Hell yeah.
Did you read the message?
Like, yeah, I read it. Yeah, you know.
I'm not reading all that. You're right. Well, you know, we're talking about inequality. Hey, so here's an inequality, and I know a lot of guys don't want to talk about this because a lot of guys, especially straight guys, are like, well, I'll never do that, so it doesn't matter. But it is a good point. Women are allowed to have an experimental phase. And I had a friend that was arguing with somebody else, this chick, and she was like, well, yeah, you know, she's been married for 15 years, and she told her husband that she did something with some girls in college, not just kiss, like full on did stuff. She's like, yeah, I went through that little phase, I did that, and it was over. And he's like, what? You did that? She's like, yeah, is that a problem? He's like, no, but if I just told you I sucked the you know what in college and I hated it and decided never to do it again. She's like, what? I would never. I was like, wait a minute. You just described like 20 nasty things you did with women. And because I made up one experience that didn't happen, you're flying off the handle. So there's also that. So there's inequality in that. But again, I feel like the person, oh wait, Arlena said when you guys were talking about the green dot, she said, or just bubbles. Oh man.
Oh man. You got them. Oh man, you done typed and deleted it, retyped it.
Your day to look at it, type up, and just send a blank message. It was like,
no, look.
Or the bubble just sitting there for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they disappear every time.
Yeah.
I hate it because it's either because the droid does the same thing. I hate it because either two things. One, you keep typing and don't know what you're typing, or two, it's like, dang, this must be a long
right. About to get chewed out.
It's going on.
You're about to send me. But that what do you ever ask? I've never asked someone I dated. All right, and I've been married before. I've never asked. I don't care about who you've been with and how many times you've been with somebody. Because if I'm at the point that I want to date you or marry you, what's that going to do for me?
I've been asked in high school. When I was in high school, I had a girl walk up to me and we started like talking, and she was known apparently to be, you know, she gets around. But I didn't even know her, you know, so I was like, I don't care what you did. Let's, you know, make something happen. So, you know, we started dating and all that. But I didn't even know her. So it's like, you know, when I hear those rumors, I don't even think about it.
I don't understand.
I gotta know you.
I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense to me, especially guys in high school. If you're trying to get with girls in high school, because that's what we're thinking about in high school. And you do, what's the point of labeling them so now they don't want to do it with anybody else?
Exactly.
Or now, like, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know if I'm making sense. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
You're trying to get the girls, but if you keep labeling them, less of them are going to want to do something.
Yeah. So starting rumors makes them shut down.
Yeah.
There was girls in my high school that would like leave school. I know three girls like privately, and they all stopped going to my high school because words got around about them, and they were like it was like crazy at school for them, bullying and all kinds of nasty shit. And they dropped out of school and did online class instead.
Yeah, it's like, the guys that called them a hoe be the first one trying to get the number.
It'd be the ones that get mad when you tell them no.
It'd be the one that got shut.
Exactly.
It'd be the one that got shut down.
No to.
They got shut down.
Say no.
I was gonna say I was gonna say just because they said no, they don't know how to control their feelings. They don't know how to react. They're in high school, they're building up. They just react. They're just getting these feelings because when we get older, you don't even think about what people have done in high school. You're like, we're adults now, so you're just like, what's up? Like,
but like Jackson was talking about, it's some grown people out here. Like when I hear sometimes certain people talk to me about their relationship, I'm like, when they're just talking, I'm like, are y'all in high school? Like, what are you talking about right now?
Even at my age, I'm only 19. I graduated high school 2 years ago, and like I'll tell people they're on some kid shit. I can't stand the kid shit. I'm 19 and I feel like I'm 30. Like manual labor. But
Jackson got curtains in his.
I got back problems.
He goes all back to the guy's insecurity.
He gonna get the cul-de-sac. He's
gonna start balding real quick.
I'm tell you.
I got gray hairs.
He's gonna come on camera next time and look like Keone.
Yeah. You're like Mr. Clean. Oh man.
Like, fuck you up on Call of Duty when we get off here. 1v6 me, bitch. How about that?
I'll be running in. Let's go.
Oh my god, it's crazy. Demetrius said it's the ones that get shut down. I've seen this happen before. Like I'll see a guy hollering at a girl, hey, shorty, hey. Well, fuck your ugly ass then. Like you was just trying to get the number.
It ain't like the music video.
That's a classic right there. I swear.
Or when the girl gives them the attention, the girl will give them the attention, and then she'll be like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. Like, I ain't want you anyway."
Yeah.
Well, see that one kind of both of them are just assholes for that.
I mean, yes and no, because I mean, if you're walking down the street and somebody randomly calls me trying to holler at me, I'm gonna find out what you want. Like if I'm walking down the street and somebody's like, "Hey, excuse me," I'm like, "What's up?"
No, Jackson, that's not what I'm talking about. That's different. I'm talking about when you engaged in the flirt and you carrying on with me for 5 to 10 minutes, and you know the hell you got. Because Chris Rock, I think Chris Rock used to be the one that said this joke. He said, "A man's only as faithful as his options," or something like that, to that effect. And that's why when dating, I never put myself in situations, because even though I can honestly say at 44, I've never cheated on anybody. I want to keep it that way, but I also made sure I didn't put myself in them situations.
Sometimes as guys, though, I feel like we may put ourselves in those situations because I don't think there's a lot of women who are just flirtatious by nature. So if we're talking to women and they send off a flirtatious vibe and we're all of a sudden, oh, I think she might be feeling me. And then you shoot the shot and she's like, nah, I got a boyfriend, and we're upset. We just don't realize that some women are just flirtatious by nature. So we can't just think every person is trying to get with us.
Yeah, but I don't blame a guy for getting annoyed. You know what you're doing.
That too. Yeah.
What's it called? Being facetious. Why are you over here being facetious? You know what you're doing.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
we're talking about that inequality again. If I do that to a woman, I'm a dirty dog.
Yeah.
So
that goes back to it. Yeah. How do we know when to shoot the shot, when not to shoot the shot? That's always the issue.
Well,
if you're with a woman, you gotta be committed with her, right? So you're not supposed to be out there shooting your shot if you're with somebody.
Well, if you're in a relationship, no.
Yeah, I think Jordan's talking more like if you're single. Well, I mean, Jordan, there's no fault for that. You shoot the shot. If you think somebody's flirting with you and you're feeling her, you shoot the shot. But once they tell you, Demetrius, here's it goes. I'll ask Demetrius. Once they say, oh, I got a boyfriend, what should happen then? It should end, right?
Well, that's it. Move on.
No, but you know what happens. You want what you
can't
get.
A couple of days later, you like her posts, hit a couple pictures. Bloop, bloop. I know she gonna see me pop up.
Try again, round 2.
Yeah.
Look. 5 days later, she likes a picture of yours. You're like, there's a chance. There's a chance.
At first, you like her pictures and you're hoping you see her like yours back, and then it don't happen for the first few hours. And then the next day passes and you forget about it. And then the third day comes around, she likes your stuff. You're like, oh shit.
That's why you gotta come up with the cool back line though. Be like, what took you so long? I don't know.
Your mind automatic going scheming mode. You already scheming on your neck. Like, okay, how can I execute?
Right.
What about that thing? I always laugh when I see somebody like a guy ask a girl for their number, and they be like, "Oh no, give me your number. I'll put it." I'm like, you already know she ain't calling you. If you say give me your number, and they say no, give me yours, they ain't calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ain't calling.
Oh yeah.
I don't
You
know.
ever?
I always
Emails
found
are
that
hustling.
interesting though, especially going to a club. I'd always like, here, give me your phone. I'll put my number in yours. And if she wanted to chat with me, I'm only doing half the work. She's messaging me at that point.
First of all, women out there, don't be handing your phone over to some guy in the club. Because you're gonna hand it over.
Send a quick little
Somebody gonna
Venmo,
take off.
$400 over to my Venmo real quick.
Yeah, they're gonna take off with your phone. That's look. That's how I used to. You know what? When I want to talk to a girl, I just give them a brand new iPhone and say, "Here you go. I'll call you."
I've only been to the club like one time.
Yeah, how many iPhones do you have over there, Gioni?
A lot. Wait, did you just say you only been to the club like one time?
Hell yeah.
Wait, but you live where?
I'm in Durham.
Well, I mean, Jackson.
You could go to Raleigh.
In your defense, Jackson, I lived where you live. You ain't missing nothing.
I went to the strip club though.
Hey, strip clubs be having some good food.
I fell in love with a strip
free drinks and for the women and all that.
Well, hey, since we're on the subject of inequality, what about dating a stripper or dating a girl that does OnlyFans?
I fell in love with a stripper. I want her. She's my wife. She just don't know it yet.
Ain't over here, man.
Classic mode.
When I was in college, I had a buddy whose girlfriend or baby mother actually was a stripper, and that was, it didn't bother him. He was just like, yeah, I trust her.
Okay, that's him. I'm asking about you.
I think that's what it is, though. It's all
at that point, make your money, girl.
Yeah, I'm about to brag.
How much do you trust somebody? Yeah,
I don't care what you do, as long as when you come home, we count it together. Do what you gotta do. That's how I think about it.
Well, is she allowed to have private bookings?
Depends on what the private bookings entail.
Hell no.
Because if it's a little too private,
we'll probably be over there having a fit, man.
Boy,
you be come with that right amount of bread.
Too private.
Arlena says, "Don't feel bad. I've never been to a club." I'm not surprised, Arlena. Get out of here.
My first strip club, I had to wear a bright yellow shirt because I was 18. So they would. So I had
to shit out of my head.
I feel like that's just embarrassing. Look at me.
We can see him. So he got a drink in hand.
Not one stripper. Not one stripper said what's up with that bright yellow shirt.
You ain't got no money.
I know. That's why I was like, damn, why y'all put that shirt on me?
He's got his parents' money. What do you mean?
I had a bag of change. No,
because I'm older.
No, don't be making it hail over there. All right.
Right. It's a meteor shower.
Because I'm older, so don't. I know you got funny jokes because I graduated in like *98, but
damn.
Yeah, I know. First of all, Demetrius, your ass ain't south of 30 anyway, so you just hold on. So look, and you got 3 kids, so that makes you older than me.
Oh, I got 2 kids.
Hey, I got
2. Oh, oops!
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Whoa there. One on the way. Let me try.
Nah.
Let me just like, you know what? I'm out this bitch. Y'all trying to get
stick with my 2 and that's it.
No, so look,
gotta get snipped.
My assistant wrestling coach got me into a strip club when I was like 17, and I was working at the grocery store. I had my little $130. I thought I was rich.
Oh my God.
And it was when this John B song came out. Don't listen to what people say. And that stripper danced on me, and she took all my little money. I was in love. And I was like, hey, look, $60 in, because when you're handing out ones, it goes slow, right? $60 in. I'm like, oh, you did 2 songs already. Are you about? Because I was a little green. I was like, you about to go? She's like, no, I just want to be here with you. Now you did tell that to a 17-year-old.
I did the same shit to me.
They knew exactly what to do, man.
She knew exactly how much you had in your pocket, and she was like, I'm gonna take all of that.
Bro, and it's fucked up. I went with my coworker, right? I went with my coworker. He's my partner. He's 37. I'm 19, and I'm his boss. And we went to the strip club together. We were supposed to go bar hopping, but we're shoot pool and stuff. But I kept getting kicked out of the bars. So we went to a strip club. And he tells her I'm his boss and that I bust my ass and how much money I make.
Damn.
And I'm just looking at him like, bro, I had sweats on, some busted up ass Nikes, and nothing.
First of all, you nasty.
First
of all, you nasty. You nasty. First of all, you nasty. Any guy that goes to strip club with the sweats on, you nasty. You nasty.
I was going to the gym. I was in the
gym. Yeah, he was working out. All right. Yeah, he was working out.
That what we're calling it now?
The dumbbells, right? Right.
Jackson ain't had no drawers on.
he already had in mind what he was planning to do that night.
God damn.
Oh my goodness. I had never been. I was really at the gym parking lot.
You're a dirty old man at 19.
He gonna hit him with that laugh. What it do to you?
So look, hey, as soon as he told her that, it was like Players Club, money. Yeah.
She took all my things. I'm not gonna lie. She took every bit of that 120. She took all
there's some women that can do tricks in the strip club. I saw a trick when I was in that strip club. She put $1 and it shot in the air. It was amazing. I've never seen anything like it.
In Korea, wow. There was the dragon lady. She used to light a cigarette and smoke it down there.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. She could take a paintbrush and paint. She could do all kinds of stuff. I'm like,
They say superheroes don't exist.
Yeah. And then she did this thing where, now look, some people gonna get mad at me if you're Caucasian. Y'all will do some shit brothers ain't doing. So this is a strip club in Korea. This lady's doing shooting ping pongs, all this stuff. Then she would do this thing where she would take a bottle of beer and drink the bottle of beer with it and point to the crowd. And every time she pointed at a black guy, they were like, hell no. And she'd always get some drunk white guy, and he'd be like, yeah. And he'd lean back, and she'd stand over him and let all of the beer into his mouth. I'm like, wow. No.
I'll imagine some black dude using a white dude as a shield, like,
yeah.
I got you.
Like, I ain't catching this.
Yeah.
We over here like
that's
300.
The hygiene, bro. That's disgusting.
We over here like 300 grabbing y'all to my shield wall.
Right.
Nah, I know we gotta. So now look, I think Demetrius is the only one on here with kids.
No, I got 2 kids.
Oh, you got 2 kids. You have daughters?
Negative.
Okay, Demetrius, you have daughters.
Yep, 1 daughter, 1 son.
Ooh, so they always ask how the parents are going to talk to them and like about things like this when they're teenagers. And of course, the old school thing was always, the girl, you're not going to have a boyfriend. And the boy is like, yeah, my son's got a girlfriend. Like, are you going to be one of those dads?
Nah. I don't know, man. Like I said, I want my kids to live that life.
Yeah.
I want them to be happy in life. So whatever makes them happy, I'm gonna be behind them on that. Yeah. I mean, of course, I'm gonna protect my girl, my daughter, my son. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna make sure he protect that. I'm gonna make sure the girl treats him right, treat him with respect. I'll make sure he does vice versa. Make sure they respect each other. My daughter, I mean, she wanted to date. I'm not gonna be that dad sitting by the door with a shotgun, like, hey, where you from? Who you people? I'm gonna get to know the guy. Make sure all I ask is treat my daughter with respect.
You're gonna address it accordingly. Each guy is judged individually, right?
Yeah. I don't want. I told my wife, I told Arlene, I said I don't want to be that type of dad. I want to be that dad.
It's knowing your kids. Cello's daughters, Cello, who does the cello show with us, his daughters. I interviewed them, and she said he never bothered any of my boyfriends because when he would talk to my boyfriends, in his mind, he would be like, because he knows me, he'd be like, oh, he's not going to last long. So why do I have to do anything? He's like, he's not going to last long.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them, she's like, Dad, what are my boyfriend? He's like, he's not going to last long. I'm not worried about him because I know you. Right.
I don't have kids, but I plan on having kids, and I already know like how I'm going to raise them.
You know what? Listen, I'm going to tell you this.
19, that's pretty
And
good.
Demetrius, you tell me, and Jordan, you tell me if I'm right or wrong. You can know how you want to raise them till you get them.
Man, your kids are their own beings. Like, I try my best to be like, put on a good example, but they do exactly what they want to do. So, they would definitely I feel like they are put on here. Each child you have is a life lesson that you have to learn, and you just like apparently they're here to teach it to you. Because I'd be like, damn, a lot of times when I'm raising them,
Well,
stuff like
because
that.
you guys are Demetrius and Jordan, you guys are parents that look at your kids as individuals. Older ways is you treat them all the same, which we realize they're not all the same. They can't all be treated the same. They can't all receive the same type of punishment. Every child reacts to something different. Every child reacts to lessons different. I know, me and my older sister, like just say it like talking about sports. You had to be like that Hellfire Spitfire coach with us, but with my other sister, you had to do the gentle hands. That's how she got it. I know, like my nephew and niece. When I used to take care of them, I had to learn that my niece, you can spank her, you can yell at her, you can do all the things you want, but the way you get to her is to tell her you're disappointed. That kills her over everything else.
Right.
And so learning what works and motivates each one to get to what you're trying to teach them is a powerful thing for a parent to do. That's called parenting. I say that's the difference between a good parent and a mom and a dad. Mom and a dad, you do the basic necessities a mom and dad are supposed to, but a good parent knows how to teach, coach, and mentor and mold that kid.
Right.
Yeah, I just have ideas. Like I can't say 100% how I'm gonna raise them, but I just have some.
You say at 19,
man,
those ideas will change a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I just base it off of like what my childhood was. I base it off.
Yeah, that's what that's where he's got to start. Yeah,
man. Kids these days, though, man. My kid, my oldest is 9 years old, and in his 9 years of school, man, these kids that he's telling me, there's kids that smoking Newports on the ground, vapes, have girlfriends, robbing grocery stores, but all under 9 years old.
9 years old.
9-year-old. I get annoyed every time I see a 9-year-old ordering a latte or something from Starbucks or a macchiato. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Tripping.
Jackson knows one thing. He's going to tell his daughter, hey, you stay away from those guys like Matthew. They look decent. Well, see, you know what? That's the thing, Jackson. It'd be the guys that people be thinking, oh, that's a player. He think he cool and all that. And you be the most down to earth guy. And you got the guy that Matthew that looks all nice and innocent. And that be the deviant. That be the one that's going to have your daughter in there doing 50 Shades of Grey. Huh?
So why are you throwing my secrets out?
Because you're the one that's going to have them in there doing 50 Shades of Grey.
That man be going out like Zorro. He be putting a mask on, putting the tail up.
Ponytail man bun. Let's go.
Yeah,
ready to rock and roll.
We got the handcuffs on the bed frame.
He be making the Z.
The importance of teaching your son how to view women. Right? Yeah. Have y'all thought about that?
Yeah.
I mean, every day his mom already does it.
No, not mom.
Well, me and like
when dad does it, we ain't talking about moms. We save mom for the Pretty Smart show. I'm talking about the dads right now.
I'm gonna teach my son pretty much how my dad taught me. I was always taught and told that women are queens. Women are like when it comes down to it, we provide the physical things, but they provide everything else that's not physical. That some men lack, that some men can't show because of how they come up. So I'm just going to tell my kid, my son, whoever, like women are what you're here to protect. Women are here what you're here to serve for. Like women are the backbone of everything when it really comes down to it. So I mean that's how I'm gonna teach my son. Just the same way I was taught.
I don't think I've actually gotten to a point where I've been having to sit there and have to explain, women are this, women are that. I kind of go through experiences day by day as far as what I see and what I feel like I need to talk about in that moment. Like as far as, what he sees, because at the same time, he's just, he doesn't care. He's a kid. He doesn't care. All he wants to do is play Fortnite. And like my youngest one, all he wants to do is run around and play Lego Spider-Man. Like they don't care. Like I've sat there and listened to him.
It's the same when we were kids, but you know what the thing is? The reason why you still do it though is because even though they're not paying attention, not listening, it's somewhere.
It's embedded.
It's somewhere in there.
The back of
right? It's somewhere in there because when it happens, that's when it pops back out. Oh, that's what Dad was talking about.
Yeah.
Like so it's important that they hear it.
You can mold whatever personality you want out of your kid.
And they see everything.
Age. At a certain age,
They
then they
do see
start they
everything.
start developing themselves. But
Mm-hmm.
from a newborn to I don't know the age, I don't have kids, but from a newborn to like toddler, you can make them who you
Mhm.
want them to be. But after that, you know what I'm saying, then they start finding out who they really want to be.
Well,
It,
Demetrius, well, you know what? You say that, but I feel like the problem is you can still do it then, Jackson. But remember, and I'm mostly talking about the older school parents, when certain things are brought to them and they don't want to talk about it or they feel you're not ready to talk about it, I always say if they're bringing it to your attention, they're ready to talk about it because they're thinking about it or they're being inquisitive about it. So if you don't give the kid or the teen the answer, you think they're just going to drop it? They're going to
No,
find their
they're gonna
answer.
find it
Now you're
somewhere.
getting their answer from somebody you may not want them
Yeah,
to
they're
get it
gonna.
from. And I
exactly.
used to tell my friend this all the time years ago. He was all pissed one day, and I was like, "What are you mad about?" "Oh, my daughter, she's over here. She wants a boyfriend." And I'm like, "We're not talking about boys. You're not gonna have a boyfriend." I said, "If you fly off the handle when your daughter comes to talk to you about these things, you're gonna be the last one to know. Shut up, you don't have any kids." And that's they tell people who don't have kids this all the time as if we didn't have parents. We
Mm-hmm.
just were born and we were 30 one day, right? And I said, "You're gonna be the last to know." So fast forward like a year later, we're at work and he's all pissed off. I'm like, "What are you pissed off about?" He goes, my daughter comes home with an attitude. I go to talk to her, she ignores me. I ask my wife, "What the hell?" She goes, "Well, she broke up with Jason." He goes, "Who the hell is Jason?" "Was her boyfriend." "What do you mean she has a boyfriend?" And he turns to his son. He goes, "Did you know she had a boyfriend?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Why am I the only one that didn't know she has a boyfriend?" And he's like, that dad, that's the reason
Mm-hmm.
why you didn't know
Yeah,
she had a
Yeah.
boyfriend.
you
Well,
you
and
you, you set that atmosphere of you being unapproachable.
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
That can drive kids away from you. I feel like that's something we men definitely have to improve on. We need to be that stone, that rock for our kids. Like,
Mhm.
hey, you can come talk to me about anything, whatever's
Mhm.
on your mind. Hey, let's talk about it. Like the boyfriend situation. Okay, you want a boyfriend? Let's talk about it. I
Mhm.
mean, what made you want to, what sparked your interest in this or whatever? We can have a conversation about it. We ain't got, like I said, you ain't got to fly off the handle. That way, you're like, okay, I can. He has a genuine interest in in my thoughts and what I really think, and he really values me, and that's what something I want to instill in my kids as well. Like, value people opinions, value their thoughts. Don't, like you said, but like value of women. Like you said, my son.
Mhm.
That's something I definitely teach my son. I'm like, hey, value people, man and woman. Treat them all with respect.
Well,
Uh,
you just said something important when you first started.
mm-hmm.
You asked questions, and my grandfather did that. I remember my sister, my mom didn't do that, but my grandfather, when she was like, "I want a boyfriend," he said, "Well, why do you want a boyfriend?" He asked a question because their
Mm-hmm.
answer is going to tell you what you should talk about. If she
Mm-hmm.
says all these things like you're saying, that's one thing. But if the answer is, "Well, because my friends have one," now you know how to approach her and
Yeah.
you know where her head is. You don't really want a boyfriend. You want what everybody else has. So let's talk
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
about that, right?
Exactly.
But if you
Mm-hmm.
just fly up the handle, then there's no discussion to be had. And now that's when she has the secret boyfriend that you don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And then you be
Yeah.
left out
Clean at your
a
crib
lot
at
of
night.
parts of their life.
See,
I
that's a
mean, from
perfect example though, because I have a good friend of mine who is constantly in a relationship, and he can't be single. If he's single, it's like the end of. I swear to God, it's like the end of the world. He's never single, but it's just like you need that time to question yourself, question what you want, see what you want in the future, and then kind of really bring it all together. And it's like, what do I really want? And if
right.
it's a girlfriend, great, find that. But every time I talk to him, he's always like, "Oh, all my friends are getting married, they're dating in serious relationships," and it's
Uh,
just like, is that what you want then, or like
right.
is that just because everybody else is in it and you want that as well? But you can't force that. You got to find the right person who fits your values, your morals, who you like, who you want, right? And you can't force that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I agree and disagree though, because some people just think that they're better in a pair. Like some people just feel better with somebody. It's not always about their environment. It could be that that they just are happier with another person. It doesn't have to be like they're not happy by themselves. Like they are happy by themselves. They just don't like being by themselves.
What in the talk about by themselves? We got 15 minutes left, and look at this big egghead ass Theo Huxtable.
What the fuck, Darrell?
Theo Huxtable,
motherfucker. Dang on, man.
Time group chat saying 9 minutes about an hour ago.
Look, he blew me up all day about the link. And he didn't even hear.
I didn't know what time it was.
And you come in with the orange turtleneck. What's up, man? What's up? What's up, man? What's up?
Wow. What's up, everybody?
He got that solid color, no prints, no patterns, no logos,
no nothing.
He looks like he was at the club because everything's plain.
Wait, is that a picture of you when you were younger in the background?
Oh no.
Oh, because he got an orange shirt on too.
Hey, they both sitting there like that. They both
same shirt. He ain't grow.
No, that's my brother-in-law.
They're the same damn size. You better get some protein or something.
I'm crying. Okay, he was a big little boy. That he was like 10 in that picture.
Hey, look. So here's how y'all mess him up. So Darrell, what's your comments on what we just said?
I don't have any comments. More so observing.
No, see, Darrell, that's not, man, aren't you in acting class? You're supposed to say, well, my opinion is I agree with what everyone said. I think all of our differences of opinions align in what we want to do. And it's very fruitful information for the people that are watching. Jackson brought up some good points. Jordan, it was dead on with his assessment and what happened. And Matthew, when he chimed in, I was like, I learned something there. Matthew taught me something. Yeah. You don't know how to bullshit.
I mean, I don't want to speak on nothing that I didn't agree with at the end of the day. Because what if they said something I didn't like?
Oh, he don't trust us, y'all.
You know,
you just gotta know. We just gotta know that women are equal, women are great.
There it is. I still got to keep myself credible.
Okay, and he in an earthquake because his phone moving. What is going on?
Boy.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Boy.
So we were talking about how women should stay in the kitchen, Darrell. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
He said, "Whoa, okay, I missed that
one." So did you agree with Jordan's assessment then?
Say again.
Go make me a sandwich.
See why I didn't say that everybody made it. Come on now.
Oh my god. I can't. Nah. I forgot what actor. I forgot. Oh man. Anyway, so this was a good episode. I think we started off really well talking about the inequalities. Most of us were kind of aligned in that, but we're not. There's no knuckle dragging men on here, so you know I felt like we were all going to probably align and agree with. There is there has been a lot of inequality when viewing sexual things between men and women. Matthew said has gotten better, but it's still out there. You know, It's in music.
All over music.
Yeah, that's true.
Music, and I see it's on social media, and I see it. I just see the difference in how women are treated when sexual things happen. Darrell, we talked about, like, for instance, when a sex tape comes public, the man is usually the one who survives that incident. We talked about if you sleep with 4 women in the next 2 days, you know, you the man, and if a woman does it, you know, she's a hoe or she's for the streets. We talked about that as well, and then we talked about dealing with our kids and how to get them to understand and respect those boundaries and knowing how to evolve their thinking and what happens. And another thing we talked about is how much should you care about what someone has done before you if you're at that point where you want to be with them anyway, because everybody has a past.
Right. Yeah. True. So me personally, I don't think it really necessarily matters because it had nothing to do with you. You weren't even in their life then. So it's kind of like, you know, I wouldn't be the type of person to predicate everything in a person's character based on their past experiences. Because I wouldn't expect that. Like, I wouldn't expect them to do that to me. You know, if I'm trying to be a better person, because I think I can speak for all of us when I say that, like, we're moving day in and day out trying to better ourselves every single day, not trying to be the same guy we were yesterday. So it's just like, if you find somebody that you feel comfortable around and you feel like you can create a type of relationship with, you wouldn't necessarily want them to look at who you were yesterday and just continue to look forward with you as far as you improving yourself every day. That's my take on it.
I get that.
No.
Hell yeah.
Come on.
I think that even goes back.
Look.
Everybody's stunned. Like, whoa.
Everybody was like, huh?
Well, I mean, I think that even goes back even with like kids. As long as you're going every day trying to better yourself because they watch you, especially when you have boys and you're the dad, like they watch every move and try to be just like you. So definitely, it's just try to be the better you and just ask questions and be involved and just let them know what's right and wrong at the moment. And you don't want to show no judgment because, like you said, everybody has a past. So you don't. That's not very Jesus-like if you're into that stuff and all that.
If you're into that stuff and all that.
Or witchcraft.
Stoves. Everybody's got skeletons in that closet.
Yeah.
My grandma used to say this: if you don't want to know the answer, don't ask the damn question.
Yeah,
and you don't even know. Like a girl could go
box.
have sex with somebody and then have sex with you in like a couple of days, and you never. It's not like you could be like, oh, there's been 4 sausages. Like you can't tell. Like it's a human body. Like you can't tell. Like
because some got that snapback.
Yeah, like you do some Kegels, it's over with.
Fast recovery.
Yeah,
snapback. They do that kegling now.
Put some tea tree oil down there. I don't know. Put some I don't know.
Dude.
You say tea tree
oil?
Yeah, gotta get the pH right. I don't know.
Man, you ain't doing a dipstick in there.
I don't know, man. I'm just talking out my neck.
I said kegling. You went all the way to tea tree oil.
Tea tree oil, boy.
Tea tree oil and cocoa butter. It's a good mixture. What are you talking about? You have somebody out here going to the hospital.
And now you be getting some damn sage and some witch hazel.
Right.
What you trying to make a goddamn soup in that
a potion, man.
All right, you're in potions class. 10 points from Gryffindor.
Trying to tell you.
Right.
I've been playing too much Hogwarts Legacy over there.
Before we wrap it up, here's the most important question of the day, of the episode. When this episode's over, who's getting on Call of Duty?
Gee, what time is it?
Jackson said that last time.
I'm gonna be up there on Warzone.
I'll be on.
I mean, you already know. I called you at noon today. I was
Jackson said that last time, and me and Matt waited forever. Huh?
I'm on. I'm not going out tonight.
He was out being a whore last time. That's what happened.
Hey.
Wait.
That man, he was listening to Future.
You got Call of Duty?
Who?
Greg's Trading Place. So Greg, for those of you watching, Greg's Trading Place, he goes live every Monday. Greg is a trader, a day trader. He's into stocks. And I join his live every Monday for about 40 minutes to an hour. He does a lunchtime with Keone segment, and he really, really promotes our channel a lot. Oh, that's your tag. You got to text it to me. I don't know what system you're on. You're probably on PC. You're probably one of those people.
If he's on stock,
I'll play you on
one page for Call of Duty.
I was gonna say he's got the setup.
Man, I am saying God 9,000.
So Darrell, you don't have COD, do you?
No, I got COD. I just said I'll play you on COD.
Dang, see, Jordan, you gotta get the multiplayer because you only play up to 4 people.
I got Black Ops 3, and I think I have. I ain't gonna lie, I got Modern Warfare, but I don't have the newest one.
What's your
I
got
the newest one.
Well, you know what, Jordan, I'm not gonna fault you. You got kids. You can't just have everything when you want to have it.
I really don't be playing the game like
Warzone 2. It's free. That's all you need.
That's why I got Warzone.
Yeah, he's got Warzone, but when you have more than 4 people, you can't play Warzone, Matt.
Multiplayer?
He doesn't have
multiplayer.
You don't have.
No. Jackson, you see what I deal with?
That's terrible.
Hey, Fortnite got that new season though.
Came out this morning.
Did you say Fortnite has that? What?
It has a new season. It's got a new season.
Season 2.
You know what I have to say to that?
It's fire. It's fire. They got everybody in there. You know who I have in there? Man, I'll name everybody. I got John Wick. I got Mike Lowry. I got Apollo.
Mike
Mike Lowry from fucking Bad Boys.
He don't got
Will Smith.
He don't got COD because he spends money on fucking V-Bucks.
Hey,
you know, the only thing I have to say to you, Jordan, after all that is
it's fire.
Fuck you.
Hey.